All right, well, excuse me, everybody. I know I made a video already, and I don't mean to make another video really discussing, but I feel the need because at the end of the day, making these talk videos, talk vlogs, or whatever, you know, talking about these things, hey, if you can take something from it, great, um, because hey, I understand and I feel you, but and I see, like I said, I know, Jeffrey on Facebook, not here, of course, shares all kinds of, and I don't mind. That's, but like I tell him is, and again, nothing wrong with defending yourself, and because I would too, because putting truth, you know, showing truth out there to people like, hey, you know, look, this guy, I'm the one I am telling the truth. This guy's not. This guy is falsely accusing me of this and that and this. And I don't care. And like I said in the last video, people can make things believable. People can make things, like I said, very convincing. But at the end of the day, how do you know? Like, how do you 100%, you know what I mean? And that's why you really have to look into stuff, you know, and just let and again, nothing wrong with defending, nothing wrong with putting it out there like, hey man, no, he is the one that is lying and falsely accusing. So again, it's not, like I said, you have to defend yourself. And it's not that I don't, like I said, but my thing is I just don't care the hate that people make out, because at the end of the day, it's like, if you truly want to believe it, that's fine. You know, without, but I just feel like I'm not going to waste my time constantly going around like these trolls do just to defend myself and say, oh no, they're lying, man. They're falsely accusing me. I never freaking said that. I never did. Because to me, it's like, dude, I got better things that I could be doing with my life than that's what I spend my life doing. You know what I mean? And it's because at the end of the day, people, it don't matter what you do. It doesn't matter, you know, if you, again, put, on your page and show as much truth and proof, it's not going to stop. Okay? Because, again, that is the kind of world, country we're living in. And it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can show as much proof and this and that as much as you want, much as you please. And at the end of the day, it's still going to happen. These people are still going to do this no matter what. You know what I mean? It's just it's a never ending battle, a never ending that, again, it doesn't matter how much tell people, you're on your community post or whatever going, hey, no, I didn't do this. I never said that. I would never do stuff like it. Don't matter, man. The people that you're dealing with, the people that are falsely again, they are just going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? They're going to keep doing it. They're not going to. So at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter what you say, or even though, like I said, you got the right to defend yourself and to show proof that, hey, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to keep doing it. They're still going to keep posting falsely things about you. They're still going to. I know y'all don't want to believe that, but in all honesty, it's true. In all honesty, it is true. Because I'm just saying, like, truth be told, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're just gonna keep at it. You know, they're just gonna keep at it no matter what. You can. You can do it as much as you want. They're just gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? So that's why, to me, it's like, yeah, man, I want to defend myself and tell people, like, why are you believing this garbage? Why are you believing this stuff? I don't care how believable it may look. It's not the truth, though. You know, But and again, like I said, it doesn't matter. They're still going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? You're just fighting something that it's just going to be endless, endless. Because no matter how much you defend yourself and show proof that they're lying, they're editing, they're whatever, they're gonna do again. Just gonna keep doing it because that's what they want. More than likely, they want you reacting. They expect you to give a reaction. And that's why I just don't waste my time. Because it's like, dude, I got better things to worry about. I got better things that honestly, you know, and I'm not going to waste my time. That's not what I'm wasting my time on every single day. Posting, showing proof that, hey, no, that guy's lying. That is not right, because it is. Because you're wasting your time when you know for a fact they're just going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So it's just like people. Why are you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, you're wasting so much time on, even though like I said, yes, you have the right to be defending yourself, and showing proof and showing people that, hey, these people have been doing nothing but manipulating and lying to you. you know and like I said, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing that, but I'm just saying, you're going to be doing it constantly because it doesn't matter. They're not going to stop. No matter what you do or say, they're going to keep doing it and doing it. And that's why, like I said, for me, I just no, man. Like, I understand, man. I'm sure there is, man, people making hate, but at the end of the day, man, like I said, it would be a never-ending agenda. Me just going back and forth and telling people and screenshot and showing people like, hey, man, no. So it's just, again, people, like I said, we live in a harsh world, tough world, and the problem is people are so overly joyed with hating, spreading rumors, victimizing, attacking, that it's ridiculous. And it's just, at the end of the day, man, there ain't, man. You know what I mean? And it's just, this is how people just want to be, and it's sad, it's ridiculous, it's crazy, but because at the end of the day, it's like, this is how you waste your time in life, out there attacking people. Like, if you don't like somebody, you don't like their channel, you don't like, it's like, why it's so hard for you to just move on, but you can't. You can't move on. You can't just simply, you know, so, but I just, again, wanted to say, I don't mean to keep making videos talking about this, but like I said, hey, you know what? If it helps you and you can take something from it, that's what matters to me, because that's what it's about, is helping one another, supporting one another, just like, but, so, hey, that's why I don't mind too much, because, hey, if you can take something from it, something good, maybe positive, but I'm just saying, simply for myself, like I said, I know it's tough and I know it's annoying when people are out there making so much false claims about you and that's not true, and telling people that you do that, you do this, you said that, and you never did. I understand. It is. It's frustrating. It's annoying. But like I said, it just doesn't matter what you do. They're going to keep doing it. They're never going to stop doing it. It don't. That's just the problem. It doesn't matter. They're going to keep doing it, and you know it. So at the end of the day, you're just fighting the thing that, dude, you're gonna keep fighting it. You're gonna. It's just, like I said, it's gonna be a never-ending agenda. A never-ending agenda. And why? You know what I mean? So, and like I said, for me, it's just like, dude, I got better things that I could be doing. Better things to be focusing on. Not these people out here that want to be nothing but evil and hateful, ignorant people. You know what I mean? And the only thing I do for them is pray and wish them the best, that, hey, man, maybe someday you will see the light that, what, the way you're acting is wrong. That maybe because you're going through hard and tough times, but the way you're going by it is wrong. That someday they will see that, but fighting back with them and just And, it is, man. It's like I said, it's a never ending agenda, you know. But again, I mean, I just wanted to get on and say, because again, for all you out there, because like I said, I know it's hard and tough. And hey, I try to be there for everybody and support. And, I like to give encouragement and positive and just tell you, like, you know what, hey, I'm proud of you. And at the end of the day, just keep doing what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, you need to realize you're not hurting anybody. You're really not. At the end of the day, it's just like, you know, these people, again, it's really not you, it's them. They just want to reflect, and they're just using you, so because that's what they do. They just pick somebody and they're like, yep, I'm just going to ruin this person's life, make false things about them and this, that. And it's absolutely sad, ridiculous that's what people choose to do. They choose to do stuff like that. Like, hey, I'm going to pick on this person, harass this person, and make all kinds of, and it is, so it is. It's just, it's shameful. But hey, like I said, that's just the way it is nowadays. That's just exactly the way it is. But anyway, and also, I don't know, I just wanted to put another video up because, like I said, guys, I know I have not been posting, but again, like I said, just so much happening and going on. It's just, but don't worry, like I said, I'm going to try to, but anyway, I'm shoving off.